We all see it today. The game ends, the final buzzer sounds, and the league's greatest competitors hug it out. They exchange smiles, plan summer vacations, and leave the arena as friends. It looks like the ultimate display of sportsmanship. But according to legends who built this league, from Magic Johnson to John Wall, this pervasive culture of camaraderie is actually a cultural sickness. This isn't an accident. This is the product of 3 decades of cultural shifts, from AAU circuits to social media to player empowerment. We've traded the deep-seated, genuine personal animosity of the past for corporate synergy, and in doing so, the NBA has lost the very ingredient that is the lifeblood of all sports: visceral, undeniable hate.
Into the front court. Left baseline, Irvin. Michael Jordan steals it. Michael down on the deck, and a jump ball is called. Jordan and Irvin, and now Jordan and Irvin want to...
The raw emotional investment that turned a regular season game in February into event TV. To understand the sheer magnitude of what's been lost, you have to remember the crucible of the 80s and 90s. This wasn't a job, it was war. You had the Lakers versus the Celtics, where Larry Bird famously said he wouldn't even exchange pleasantries with Magic Johnson. That refusal to acknowledge their opponent, that hatred, was a required part of the narrative. It wasn't just about winning, it was about destroying the man opposite you.
And I have to admit, I worked tirelessly every day practicing for one reason: try to beat them damn Lakers.
Then came the Detroit Bad Boys Pistons. Michael Jordan and the Bulls had to literally be physically dismantled by the Pistons before they could ascend. The physicality was nasty, the hatred was personal, and if you went into the paint, you knew you were getting knocked down. They didn't shake hands, they didn't offer a polite smile. When Jordan finally defeated them in 1991, Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons simply walked off the court entirely, a move born of raw competitive fury that is unthinkable in today's liability-averse league.
How legitimate was the hatred between those Bulls teams and those Pistons?
Oh, I hated them. And yeah, it carries even to this day. They made it personal. They physically beat the shit out of us.
When we played the Pistons in that series, it was a arm-to-arm physical combat. But we never backed down. We fought them.
Why did this matter? Because those rivalries created event TV. Every Bulls versus Knicks game in December felt like a must-watch playoff preview because you knew the stars cared about beating each other in a way that felt personal, not procedural. You watched because you sensed genuine conflict. The question is, how did we go from Charles Oakley delivering hard fouls and personal beef to players exchanging smiles mid-game? The demise of hate was a 3-part structural failure, moving the league away from genuine conflict and toward packaged entertainment.
Where there could be an injury, the officials have a decision to make. You call it the A or the B interpretation of the flagrant foul. If it's the A interpretation, you shoot your free throws and then get the ball back.
The biggest, most foundational factor is a generation of stars who all grew up together, from high school to elite camps to the AAU circuit. Players like Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, and Karl Anthony Towns have been playing with each other since they were teenagers. When you share a hotel room and a championship at 16, it's hard to genuinely hate the guy who was your teammate at the Nike Peach Jam 4 years later. In 1990, it took effort and planning to talk to a rival on the road. Today, instant communication via text and social media makes it effortless to maintain those friendships 24/7. There are no more geographical barriers to animosity. When the cameras are off, the group chat is on, and personal beef that sells tickets is extinguished. This is the financial pillar. When a star like Kevin Durant joined the 73-win Warriors, it signaled that alliances are more valuable than antagonism.
Kevin Durant heading to the Golden State Warriors. How are you viewing this move from Durant?
Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar. Plain and simple. That's just how I look at it. It's not that he's leaving Oklahoma City. If you're not happy there and you want to move on and you want to grow as a player, there's nothing wrong with that. He's one of the top 3 players in the world. He's a quintessential superstar. He deserves all the credit in the world for the talent that he possesses. But the flip side is this. They were up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals. Not 1, not 2, but 3 different times. He was 48 minutes removed from getting to the NBA Finals by winning the Western Conference. 3 times he failed, particularly in Game 6. And you depart for the team that beat you when you're on the cusp of getting to the finals yourself or ultimately winning the championship for the franchise.
If your best option for winning a title is joining your best rival, the underlying emotional motivation to defeat him evaporates.
I was tired of playing in that system. I was tired of having to be the only guy that can make threes, make jump shots, and consistently make them. So my mind was already thinking about how can I develop my game more so than the Warriors versus Thunder, that rivalry. Even if that was a rivalry, I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to keep developing my game. On top of that, we only played them 1 time in the playoffs, so I didn't really feel a genuine deep hate for the Warriors. Me going there and playing for them, it didn't matter if we'd have won or lost the series. I wanted to play there and live in the Bay.
The business of forming a super team, the transactional nature of free agency, superseded the honor of defeating one.
It's harder to balance a team with egos than people actually realize. Skip, it's hard. Kevin Durant put this team together. He's the de facto best player, and there's no question about that. The thing when you get super teams like this, everybody has to sacrifice, and everybody has to believe everybody is sacrificing. If LeBron James put together a super team and that thing imploded after a year and a half, whoo! And then James Harden said, my first choice was to go to Philly. That's what he said. Now, if it's a lie, he told it. Now, you made a big old deal about Paul George not wanting to go play with LeBron.
Definitely.
Oh, we'll make a big deal about James Harden wanting to go play with Joel Embiid. He said, I want to go with Joe.
The star-driven trade request is the final nail in the coffin of team-based sustained rivalries. The problem isn't just aesthetic, it's financially disastrous. The team is currently projecting over $14 billion in revenue this year, largely driven by the massive new media rights deals.
We all know that the NBA has a television problem. Need to start thinking about talking to the referees about this too. In a game earlier this week, Giannis Antetokounmpo threw down a slam dunk, stared at his opponent, and was called for his second technical. Now, this is not some NBA bad boy like Dylan Brooks or something like that. Listen, NBA referees, nobody is showing up to the arena to watch you run back and forth. When we go to fill out our fantasy lineups, we don't have Scott Forster or Ed Malloy.
But that revenue stream is dependent on fan engagement in the 82-game regular season. When rivalry dies, the stakes disappear. Why watch a Tuesday night game in January if the stars don't care, and your favorite superstar might be sitting out for load management just to be fresh for the playoffs? Load management completely kills the narrative. It's a systemic betrayal of the fan who paid to see the marquee matchup, and it's a direct consequence of a league that prioritizes maximizing player longevity over maximizing fan engagement. As Magic Johnson put it, it's disappointing now to see them shaking hands, and they wonder why the viewership is down.
NBA ratings have tanked and hit an all-time low. Just 4.59 million people watched the NBA All-Star Game. It's a pinprick compared to the number who watched in, for instance, the Jordan era. And for people out there who say, well, sports have changed a lot since then. No. The audience for the Super Bowl has actually grown since the Jordan era in basketball. And what Adam Silver has done is spend all of the capital that the NBA had built up from the David Stern, Michael Jordan era, and now they have moved into a recession of the NBA audience. The NBA allowed its brand to be destroyed by going woke. That's the reality. That's the facts.
When the stars lack intensity and are too friendly, the casual fan loses the visceral hook that makes football and the 90s NBA great. Today's talent is deeper than ever, but the game has become too soft and too predictable. The NBA is trying to create rivalries through tournaments and scheduling, but you can't manufacture genuine hate. Rivalry must be forged in sustained conflict and personal ambition. It is the soul of competition. When opponents are friends, every game becomes an exhibition. The soul of the NBA is found in the moments where winning is the only thing that matters, where friendship is suspended, and where the hate is real. Now, let's turn to the next generation. Does the NBA need to force rivalries? Should the league fine players for hugging their opponents mid-game? Tell me in the comments, is the buddy-buddy era destroying the NBA soul? And if you want to see the other far more expensive cultural problem the NBA is dealing with, click here to watch my doc on the $10 billion problem, why the NBA has no king after LeBron James.